sound over here.
You are a part of the Ace and TJ radio family.
Go.
This is launch control.
Let's synchronize, shall we?
Ace, TJ, Riggins, Alexis, Tech D-Rob.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Let's go!
Live from the Calitrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So that's right, Riggins. I may have a little head, but I got a big old brain in there. That's what the problem is sometimes. I just got, my brain is too tight up in there.
Okay, two things. One, you just came up with something. I don't want to talk about it, obviously, but you think you've just come up with a great invention, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And two, speaking of big heads, and I forgot about this when it came to the Super Bowl. I saw this kid at the Super Bowl with look at his parents, and they were right down by the field, in the stands down by the field. But his hat of choice for the day was one of those big hat Kansas City Chiefs hats. Two things stood out to me about that. One, if I'm his dad or his mom and parents and I paid thousands of dollars, you're not wearing that big old hat to the game because it's annoying. Isn't it big? Would it be like whoever sits next to him? Would it be right in their face?
Yeah, maybe.
Number two, if I'm in the row behind him and this kid with a big hat in front of me.
Oh, it's not that big.
I don't know. It looks.
It's not like a billboard.
It looked ridiculous.
That is true. It does look ridiculous, but it's a kid at the Super Bowl.
He's a kid. He's supposed to be having fun. I
know you're like trying to take his fun away.
I'm asking a question. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm just saying it seems like I'd be like, hey man, just like if that hat keeps bumping me in the head, I paid $4,000 for this ticket. You need to whatever I paid, $10,000.
I don't think they should allow kids at the Super Bowl anyway.
Why not?
Because they don't belong there. That's just a night for all of the derelicts to come out and shine.
I saw
all those celebrities and everybody running around there and Usher digging down in his pants. I saw that. Those kids don't need to be seeing that.
There was a real cool video on TikTok. These parents are walking across a parking lot of a gas station with their son, and he looks like he's 10, 11, something like that. And he's wearing a Kansas City Chiefs hat. And apparently this was Super Bowl Sunday morning. I don't know where they are. They must be close to living on the outskirts of Vegas because the mom says to him as they're going to the truck, hey, what if we don't go spend all of your gift cards today?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You saw that?
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, we do something instead. And she goes, how about we go somewhere else? And they surprise him with tickets to the Super Bowl. So I thought, what a great, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Then immediately I thought, let's check the comments. And for the most part, the comments were like, what a cool thing for this kid. What a great memory. But sure enough, there's somebody, really must be nice to spend that kind of money on a kid. Like, shut up. Leave these people alone. Yeah. It's just sad that people would do that. But it was a nice little moment.
Yeah. But they posted it on TikTok.
Yeah. Is that bad?
No, I mean, if it was just really supposed to be a parents doing something nice for their kid, they wouldn't want, to make a spectacle out of it and get people to say, oh, how cool you are as parents. And then they're also flexing their money. I'll give them that.
Well, they are trying to make their money back, though, buying the Super Bowl tickets. So.
Were they attractive people?
Never saw the parents in the whole thing, just the kid in the whole thing.
Well, I'll assume they're attractive, and then I'll say, good for them.
Okay.
But if they're ugly?
Not so much?
No.
Okay.
It's not the news, it's more important. Now trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ show.
So the Super Bowl is still the top trending topic. Massive Super Bowl, 123 million viewers on average. At some points, over 200 million people were tuning in to the Super Bowl, making it the most watched television event ever, sounds like.
Key thing to that. In 2020, Nielsen started tracking people who weren't watching on TV, but in select markets. This was the first time they did it all over the country. Thus, the numbers are up. So that means all over the country now they're counting people who are watching on their phones or iPad, online, in
sure,
everywhere.
Yeah,
which is one of the reasons it made such a drastic difference. But yeah, most watched television program in history.
Well, it also went as far as it could go in being apolitical.
Interesting, yeah.
That was one of the things that, with the exception of the hippie Jesus commercial and then the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. commercial.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of preaching and you're killing the environment type commercials and all of that stuff.
You're right.
So
That's a good point.
It was apolitical, which makes it more palatable to people.
Yeah, everything was pretty much right down the middle for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't occur to me, but I think that's
a good point.
absolutely true. Usher's still trending. People still reacting to his Super Bowl halftime performance. Nothing's really changed.
Spotify said he has 4 songs that were up over 1,000% immediately following the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl effect.
Which you always get, but
Yeah.
that's a pretty good bump. 4 songs of over 1,000%. He's got a new album out. He's going on tour this summer, so everything's kind of lining up for him just right.
Yeah. Below Usher, you'll see Beyonce. She's still trending because she's announced her country album that is out next year. There's 2 songs out from the album. One is called Texas Hold'em. The other is called 16 Carriages. I like them very much. I think they're pretty good. After a couple listens, I think they're good.
It's not coming out until 2025?
Oh, I thought it was March.
You said next year.
Oh,
mean
next month.
Okay.
Next month.
All right, just double checking.
Yeah. I think they're pretty good. Is it country? I don't know. You can have that argument.
Yeah.
What is country now? I don't know.
There's a website, whiskeyriff.com, that has come out and said, hey, let's don't pretend like this is the second coming of Loretta Lynn. Essentially, everybody calm down. They do not expect this to be considered country. So, but who knows?
I think when you start having that argument, you run the risk of sounding like, whether it's country, hip hop, pop, you sound like a snob. When you're like, this isn't hip hop or this isn't country, you sound like kind of know-it-all, snobby.
Well,
because people do it with hip hop all the time.
Right.
Okay, well, here's what happens. It goes through cycles, and this has happened before. It happened in the early 90s. Country takes a big jump as far as the most popular music of all genres, mainly because at the moment, and then for the past few years, country is the only format where the musicians play instruments and it's not, mechanically enhanced and all of that kind of stuff. It's original for the most part. And so all of these other people, there's a song by Alan Jackson called Gone Country, and it explains all of that. About the lounge singer that's just not making it, and she sees what they're doing down south, and I think I could do that. And then, the different people who have nothing country about them, but just decide I can sing that music because it can't be that hard.
Right.
And then what ends up happening is the format gets flooded with country music that's not really country. It doesn't fit what the culture of country music is. And that's not a color thing. It's an experience thing. Just like you can't just take somebody who grew up in the suburbs, where Kim Kardashian grew up, and say they're a blues singer because they can play the notes. Mm-hmm. You have to live the life to kind of be that. But so many country stars right now aren't living that life. They didn't live that life. So that's what's making it so attractive to people who's like, I can go do that. I can go do that.
Seems like the thing to do. Mm-hmm. Jon Stewart is trending. He returned to The Daily Show last night. Said he was very excited about it. Took some shots at Biden on his first day back.
Of course.
So that happened. And then Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have a new website. It's called Sussex.com. They're working on a little bit of a rebrand, but the interesting thing is the royal experts are saying that they're the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex, which is a title given to them by the monarchy, and you are not supposed to use that title for commercial means outside of the family, which is exactly what they're doing by calling it Sussex.com. Now, the king can revoke that title, but they think at this point he's just going to let it ride and just kind of like grit his teeth and go.
Yeah, because he's having to worry about cancer treatments now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no special pleader for King Chuck, but they wait until he announces that he's got cancer, and then they go pull some stuff like this because they know that that's way down his priority list.
Mm-hmm. I thought they had given up all of their rights to all of that stuff.
No, just as part of making like appearances and stuff, they'll be the Duke and Duchess unless the family steps in and says we're revoking that title. But I can't remember the last time that was done.
They absolutely though could have. TJ's right. They could have said, "Hey, we should hold off on this until let's figure out this cancer thing and, before we act on that."
Yeah,
that's
with
kind
all
of in
the
poor taste.
With all the other stuff going on, maybe not the fight you want to pick right now. But Sussex.com up and running. I checked it out this morning. Not much happening on Sussex.com yet. I was looking for like Wordle or something. It's not there. But those are a few things that are now trending.
It's a good deed that has gone bad. But should it be the end of a relationship? That is something you will help decide in this week's edition of Group Therapy next.
Miss part of the show? Just download it. Get the Ace and TJ podcast on any platform. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
All guests of the Ace and TJ show stay at the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. Beautiful rooms, incredible dining options. Book your room by calling 980-299-7123. It's the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. The Johnson Group has been cleaning some of Charlotte's most prestigious businesses since 1985. Family owned and operated. Learn more at acetj.com/clean. It's first-class cleaning with the Johnson Group. Attention Charlotte, treat yourself to a delicious meal that's made with fresh, seasonal ingredients and ready in just 20 minutes. Enjoy a fine dining experience without ever leaving your home. Head over to tableandtwine.com.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
An act of kindness may lead to the end of a relationship, depending on you in group therapy in a second. But I wanted to know, has anybody seen, did Drake follow up on what he said he was going to do with the $2-something million that he won from the Super Bowl last night?
I don't know.
Drake bet $1.15 million on the Kansas City Chiefs to win. He walked away with a payout, according to Drake, of $2.34 million. That means he made almost $1.2 million in profit. And he claimed he was going to make a fan, quote unquote, super blessed at his concert last night in St. Louis. He said he was going to give away all the profit to one fan at last night's show. And I haven't seen anything that said he did. I looked on Twitter this morning, didn't see anything. So I'm curious if he followed through with that.
If he's like we are, he'd be like, oh, man, we forgot to give away that money.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
We were supposed to do it in the show today.
We have literally done that before. That's a true story. We've done that before.
Most of the things.
Here we go.
Share Funny is now proof that you can always turn to family for help. The radio family. It's How Can We Help You Wednesday on the Ace and TJ show.
It's not. All my buttons are messed up over here. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's group therapy on the Ace and TJ show. Here we go. We do it group therapy every Tuesday at this time. And if you have a need for group therapy, you just send us your DM and we'll get to it. This is that I find this interesting because this guy writes, I've been with my girlfriend for 14 months. A couple of months ago, her roommate was moving in with a boyfriend and she was struggling to find an affordable place to live that was decent. So at that point, we decided to move in together. We got ourselves a nice 2-bedroom. Things were going great for 2 months. Then my girlfriend tells me that her mom had her rent raised and can no longer afford it. She asked if she could stay with us for a few weeks until she finds another place. I reluctantly said yes, but was vocal about my displeasure. That 2 weeks is now turned into 2 months, and I want my privacy back. Do you know how weird it is? Each day I get a little more frustrated, and this is driving a wedge between my girlfriend and I. It feels like her mom is comfortable with our awkward living situation and doesn't seem to be actively pursuing another place. My girlfriend insists that she is. In our last argument, I suggested that maybe I should just surrender the apartment to them and go get my own place. My girlfriend used that as a status report on our relationship. My sister thinks I need to be a little more patient and tolerant. My brother thinks I need to dump my girlfriend to get my own place and start over, but he's 35 and single. I do love my girlfriend. I care about her. But does that mean having to share everything with her mom? I'm aware it is close to Valentine's Day, so I would not make any drastic move until the end of the month. Is that reasonable? Question mark.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want to sound harsh, but that's the kind of stuff you got to expect when you rush to shack up with somebody you don't really know that well.
Well, they've been together a year before they
Yeah.
shacked up.
Come on.
You don't think that's long enough to know each other?
Well, I mean, if he didn't know that that she would act this way over this situation, then no, they didn't know each other very well. I could be around somebody a month and know, hey, I bet if her mom wanted to move in, she'd never move out the way she acts about her mama. But don't go surrendering anything. It's your place.
Yeah, it was his place originally.
That's the solution, kick her out.
Well, I mean, he took her in as charity. The mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so mom apparently is living there rent-free.
Or, depending on what the mom looks like, I mean, you may be able to work out a deal.
Hello. Hello.
You know, might as well.
Hey, Mom.
So maybe, I would think maybe he could go to his girlfriend and say, okay, look, we've reached an impasse here. Let's try to help your mom find a new place. Let's work together. We'll get some places. We'll go look. Let's kind of push the issue here. Would you be agreeable to that?
I'd rather break up than help her mom find an apartment. If you're a young person, you know how much of a pain it is to go find an apartment. I'd rather break up. I swear.
So you would choose breakup?
Yeah. In that scenario, right. Yeah. Mom's living there. Both of you get out.
Alexis?
I would say at least talk to the girlfriend first. Try to work something out.
Well, the only thing to work out is mom's got to go.
Yeah, like figure out a way to get her out the house.
Yeah, I say break up. It's cleaner, easier.
Right.
He still has to get them out the house even if he breaks up, and they might not leave. We're not leaving.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving.
So now you're broken up with two random people in your house.
Right, but then, sooner or later, he can get the police over there if they're squatting on him.
I got some squatters here.
Because his name is on the lease, apparently, because she just moved in with him.
Or start bringing your buddies around all the time and make it unlivable for them.
I like the breakup.
Yeah.
So at the Ace TJ show, so there's his scenario. Does he just become more, what did his sister say, more patient and tolerant, kind of let this play itself out? Or does he make a move to get mom out? Or does he just end the relationship? He's reached an impasse here.
Yeah. I mean, they're just dating.
What I mean, they
What's
live
the big
together.
deal?
At the Ace TJ show. We'll get your answers next. Hang on.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities. And we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
Currents is Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in the Lake Norman area. They've been serving the Lake Norman community for over 13 years. See the latest issue of Currents now at lncurrents.com.
Should you buy? Should you sell? How do I present my house if I do want to sell it? All of those questions can be answered by the experts, and they can take care of you with the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. The Temple team knows everything there is to know about selling, marketing, and buying houses. So get in touch with them today at acetj.com/Temple team. The Temple team at Keller Williams Realty.
The United States truly is a special place.
The land of the free.
A real melting pot of cultures from all over the world.
Where men, women, and children are given the opportunity to pursue their own little slice of life, liberty, and happiness.
And what better way to celebrate our rich history than with some sweet President's Day furniture deals?
Right now you can save up to $200 on select queen beds. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
On your phone, on your radio, in your car, on your iPad, on your computer, and on the Ace and TJ Family app. Anytime, anywhere, for your entertainment. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
100 words or less could get you $10,000, but you got to hurry to get signed up. It's the first quarter of the rest of your life from our charity, Peyton's Promise. You tell us in 100 words or less how $10,000 would change your life and the lives of others, and you could be the winner. So you got to get in by 10 a.m. Eastern time, Thursday, February 15th, which is this Thursday. acetj.com/first, or click the link on any of the top of our social media. It's pinned at the very top, and that's how you get your entry in for the first quarter of the rest of your life. Today's group therapy is kind of all over the place. A guy sent us a message. He's been with his girlfriend for 14 months. A few months ago, his girlfriend moved in with him because she had a falling out with her roommate. Then 2 months ago, his girlfriend's mom had to move in with them. Originally, it was going to be for 2 weeks while she found a place. She hasn't been able to find a place. He doesn't like sharing the apartment with her anymore. He wants mom gone. His sister told him he needs to be a little more patient and tolerant because it's only been 2 months. He's not sure the mom is looking for anything. Aware this is close to Valentine's Day, so I would not make any drastic move until the end of the month. But is that reasonable that he would ask, look, mom needs to move out, or maybe he has to end the relationship? At the Ace TJ show, and people are even going back and forth with each other in our comments. Mary said, agree, this is weird. I would agree to set a move date. If mom decides not to move, you move. Jessica said, this is annoying. Being in a committed relationship means that you weather the storms together. It's a roller coaster, and life is not always easy. I understand that it's inconvenient for you having her mom there, but, all caps, would it make a difference if it were her elderly mother that needs round-the-clock care when she's 85 taking up your space? Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That has nothing to do. Mom's not 85. Mom's not elderly. Mom doesn't need care.
And he hasn't said anything about wanting to marry this woman.
No.
Yeah, that's a big difference. If you're dating someone versus married, that's when you weather the storms together, when you're married.
But I've kind of changed the way I look at it. I think that he should ask for her mom to leave as his Valentine's Day gift. You know, for Valentine's Day, nothing would say that you love me like vamoosing your mom.
Yep. Yeah. Jennifer said, if you want the mom out, help her get out. Rent has gone sky high. Start helping her look at rental agencies online. Use weekends or time off to help her go look at places in her price range. All I hear is complaining. What are you doing to actually help fix the situation? And immediately, a couple of people, toss that right back out and say, hey, this is a grown woman. Yeah. She's had 2 months. It's her responsibility. She should have enough pride to find herself a place to live.
Instead of walking around there in nothing but a Taz onesie and some fuzzy slippers.
And Christy here says, get out as fast as you can. This is not going to improve. Trust me. Let them have the apartment. If you would end up in a permanent relationship, I guarantee mother-in-law will be there forever. It's now her home.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does sound like a marry the girl, marry the mountain kind of thing.
We're a package deal.
Yeah.
2 for 1 special.
Yeah, it's like Grey Gardens over there.
Oh, yep.
Mother darling.
Okay, so ultimately, what is the advice? If you had to say, do you stay in this relationship or should he get out?
I'm with TJ on this one, and I never agree with him on these kind of things. You should break up with her. That's way too much of something to take on.
You both say he should end this relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Would he end it, and then should he move out? Would it just be easier if he moved out?
No.
Well, I keep going back to, how is he going to make them leave? If they already feel like that's their home, I don't think they're going to leave that easily.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just needs to take the steps and whatever legal ramifications he needs to take. Or maybe, there's always threats.
Yeah.
Those work well.
But I mean, how would that work?
He just needs to throw the whole apartment away and start over.
Yeah. If they
but
break
his name's
up,
on the lease, and then he leaves, then they can sit there and go, all right, well, we're not paying rent on this, and then he gets dinged on his credit or whatever because they're not paying him the rent, and his name's on the lease.
Yeah, surely they would, because she had an apartment before, so she can't afford a place to live.
Well, that's what I was going to say, though. Maybe you look at it, and what it comes down to is, neither one of his roommates can afford rent. Because that's why the girlfriend moved in with him to begin with, right? Rent was too much.
Well, no,
so she wanted to save money.
Yeah,
and then she brings her mama, and then who's next?
Yeah, her roommate,
Daddy and the dogs.
Yeah, her roommate was moving out, so she was struggling to find a place she could afford. That's how she ended up moving in with him.
Yeah,
they need him. He doesn't need them.
Then somebody needs to get off it and make something happen for him. Wouldn't you think?
Well, they got the perfect deal. I think they scammed him from the beginning. I think this was all a big ploy for them to both live on his dime.
I never even thought of that.
Oh, you got to get away from these people. Oh, if you can't do it now, then you do it soon. The day that lease is up, you have that U-Haul backed up to that front door, and you get. They start bringing other chicks in there if they won't leave. That'll force them out.
What other woman is going to want to walk into that scenario where you walk in and there's not only your ex but her mom, his ex and her mom sitting there watching TV? You're like, hey, how are y'all? What's going on?
You know, bring another girl in, sit there right on the couch, and just like heavily make out with each other in front of them. Hog the TV, do whatever you got to do to make it unpleasant for them to leave. Let them see that home is not where their hearts should be.
So ultimately, today's group therapy is where they should end this relationship. Yeah. There's a lot of talk about Alicia Keys and at the Super Bowl halftime show that she missed badly the first note of her performance with Usher, or did she? You might be curious what's happened since then. Next, hang on.
Live on your radio and anytime you want on the Ace and TJ family app or wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
When it comes to your money and things like a cash out refi, you hear a lot of stuff these days. Information is flying around, but here's the bottom line. You want someone you can trust. Well, here is someone that we trust. Richard Toccato and the Richard Toccato Companies. We've worked with Richard for years, and you know all the ins and outs, and more importantly, you give everybody options.
That's right. We have a lot of options. You know, this one lady, we just refinanced her house, paid off all of her credit card debts. She even paid her car off. She's saving $1,000 a month. So that really changes her life and her, you know, her financial well-being.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to make a house payment until 2024. So, I mean, there's not a better time to do it is when you need the extra money every month.
They call it cash out, is what we call it in the business.
Cash out.
Cash out.
That's right, cash out.
So it's one free 5-minute phone call right now, 704-800-4719, 704-800-4719, or go to homewithrichard.com. Do it today. You'll be so glad you did. The Richard Toccato Companies.
It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime. Thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics, Neogenics.
Bradham Brothers offers heating, air, and electrical installation and service that you can trust. Their family business has served thousands of customers with honesty and a smile for over 50 years. Go to bradhambrothers.com to schedule service or a free estimate today.
Great food, great drinks, great service, and great atmosphere. You can find them all at one place. Fahrenheit on South Caldwell in Uptown Charlotte, 21 stories above the city. Get details and make reservations at acetj.com/Fahrenheit.
Miss any part of today's show? Catch up anytime on the Ace and TJ family app or wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Why is Dolly Parton so loved? There's another great example of that coming up in just a few seconds. But during their halftime show with Usher at the Super Bowl, Alicia Keys, I mean, it happens. She blew the first note, the very first note right out of the box of her performance. Not something you normally would expect from Alicia Keys, who I think is a great artist. She's proven herself over a long period of time to be fantastic and super talented, but it happens. So it has been corrected. When they posted everything to YouTube, the NFL has gone in and they have corrected it both on their rebroadcast on the NFL Network and on YouTube. Here's the original.
Some people want it all,
All right, so clearly she was struggling here. Here it is now, what it sounds like.
some people want it all.
I don't know how they would. I don't know if they had her go in right after and touch that up real quick, and they inserted it. But it's if you hear it now, if you go to YouTube to see the performance, unless somebody videoed it and put it up, you will not find the original version where she kind of screws up.
They NBC got accused of this on SNL last weekend when J-Lo was performing.
Yeah.
They said they touched up her vocals when they posted it on their YouTube channel.
They sweetened it.
Yeah, live was
sweetened it.
live was one way, but when they posted it later, they had touched it up a little bit.
That's what they say. And if you listen to them side by side, they sound a lot different.
Well, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
I mean, everything's fake now.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
and it's not
nothing's
uncommon.
real.
It's not uncommon for live performances to go in and be touched up for
Yeah.
for a variety of reasons. People drop notes. You know, a lot of times if you're at a concert, a mic is in the wrong place, or it gets bumped with people moving around and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things that could happen.
I'd be like, thank you for Photoshop me,
Yeah.
tune me up, but whatever you got to do to make me look great, I appreciate it.
You know they were going to do that for her and Jennifer Lopez.
And
Somebody else they'd probably let flounder out there.
And a couple of weeks ago, Elle King made national news. She went viral because she was on stage at a Dolly Parton anniversary party, birthday party thing. Was it Dolly's 78th birthday, 76th birthday at the Grand Ole Opry? And she was hammered and dropping F-bombs and cussing and forgetting words to songs and so forth and so on. And nobody had heard a word from Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton's sister came out and said Elle King should be ashamed of herself. Well, then there's Dolly Parton, who has finally spoken out.
Elle is really a great artist. She's a great girl. And she's been going through a lot of hard things lately. And she just had a little too much to drink. So let's just forgive that and forget it and move on, because she felt worse than anybody ever could.
There you go.
Aw, she's so sweet.
Once again, Dolly Parton, class above all else.
But I said at the time that, you know, Dolly wasn't going to be coming down on her for that. Everybody's like, what? It's a good thing Dolly wasn't there, or whatever they were saying. I mean, what's she going to say?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it happens. Somebody made a mistake.
Yeah.
Don't let that ruin the rest of Elle King's life or career.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But, I mean, I'm no Dolly Parton. So Elle King is obnoxious. And I can't deal with it. From the New Year's Eve celebration thing that she was on hosting to this deal.
She was hammered at the New Year's Eve thing, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Way hammered.
And kept talking about it like it was cool.
Like Dolly said, forgive and forget.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Poor Rob Schneider.
So true. Now trending coming up next.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
As a proven leader in managed IT services, CompuCom delivers innovative solutions designed for how you work today. They'll help you deliver results no matter where you are on your digital transformation journey. It's all at CompuCom. Go to CompuCom.com to find out more.
If you're so frustrated because you're having to run around all the time, you're so busy, you feel like you're not getting your family something great to eat, then you need Culver's. It's the perfect thing for you. Always made to order, fresh, hot ingredients all day, every day.
And not only do they have the freshest ingredients all day, every day, but they are a part of the community. They're proud to be a part of the Indian Trail community where they're under new ownership. Belmont, University area, Salisbury. Make them a part of your daily routine. Make it your new neighborhood spot. Short waits for the freshest food in town. Get details at acetj.com/Culvers.
Create an unforgettable experience with the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com. Weddings, banquets, shows, expos, they do it all at the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com.